Hello and welcome to the Compiled Domain Model demo video. Please visit the address displayed here for more information and extensive documentation. In this demo, I'm going to show you how to generate a domain model and use it from code. It's going to be a simple game of Hangman, and the game state will be stored in Sitecore. I've already installed the CompiledDomainModel Module in this environment. I've also created a simple template called Hangman. The Hangman template has the fields solution and chosen letters. I've created a layout that I will later implement to make it possible to play Hangman. First, I'm going to configure the module to include the Hangman and Hangman config templates. You can find the module configuration under System Modules Compiled Domain Model. This is going to be quite a simple model, but the module actually supports more elaborate models, including inheritance. If you have multiple inheritors in your model, that is supported too. But you need to select less important templates in the Contributing Templates field because C# does not support multiple inheritance. Those templates will not become full types, but they will be included as interfaces, and the interfaces will be implemented by other types that inherit from them in Sitecore. Next, I'm going to define some configuration for the Hangman game. I'll add a configuration item here. And the default values will do for this example. Now the configuration item will be used from code and will always be at this location. That's why I can add it as a fixed path. This way I can use it from code directly without using strings. And the module will later also be able to validate its existence and location in the Sitecore tree. Now, let's add a game here. There we go. The values will be filled by the game code itself, so I can leave them empty for now. Now let's do some code generating magic right now. I'll open the code generator application. And it immediately generates the code for the application. Now, you may notice the drop down at the top. You can actually add your own templates here quite easily. Check the documentation for that. I'd like to show you a second code generation template that is included here called SQL Views Generator. This is SQL Server only, and I'll show you how it works. The script creates or replaces a database schema called domain model views. It can be used to instantly see the items in the database, and the fields will be displayed as columns. This can be useful if you're trying to troubleshoot something or if you need to generate some reports for the database. Right, so you can see the fields right here, solution, chosen letters. And the fields here are all letters and all words. Now let's get back to the domain model code. I will copy the code to a file I've already created called mydomainmodel.gen.cs. And now we can start using it. I've already put the layout for the game on the standard values of the Hangman template, so I can just start implementing it now. First, I'll create a property that transforms the context item into a wrapper. You can use a constructor and pass in the item, or use the item wrapper.createTypeWrapper static method if you're not sure what type of item you have. Okay, onto the ASPX file. And first some scaffolding. Now we need a button to start a new game. There we go. Now before I go on, I must extend the Hangman type with some game logic. I'll create a hangman.cs file and make a partial class that will extend the generated class. Now I'll add a method that implements the start of a new game. And I'll add some code to make sure we can change Sitecore field values. To reset the game, I must empty the chosen letters field. That field is generated, so I can just set it using the property with the same name. I don't need to check if the field exists. This is ensured by the CompiledDomainModel validation. I can also reference the fixed path I set earlier. I'm going to use it to pick a random word. Now I'll set the solution to a random word like this. On submitting the page, I will start the new game. Let's see if that works. I'll open the game in preview mode for now. And if I click New Game and I go back to the Sitecore item, then you'll see that there's a random solution there. The generated domain model is validated during runtime to check for any inconsistencies between the code and the Sitecore databases. The validation is done during startup, and the result is then logged to the Sitecore log. But you can also check the validation at any time by using the validation application. Now, just to see if it's working, I'll move the fixed path for a moment. Because the domain model keeps both the identifier and the path to the item, it can still find the item. But only the path is now incorrect, so a warning is displayed. In general, if something will actually break the code, it's displayed as an error. Otherwise, a warning is displayed. Next, I'll extend the Hangman class some more. This property returns the solution as a character array, but obfuscates any characters that have not been picked by the user. So characters that have not been guessed yet will be displayed as dots. Now this constant limits the user to a certain number of tries. The number of tries will decrease when the user picks a character that is not in the solution. The number of tries left can be easily calculated with the characters that have already been chosen by the user. Here you can see that a game is won if all the characters are guessed and there are no more dots left. If you have no more tries, then naturally you will have lost the game. The is won and is lost properties can easily be checked, and a message will be displayed for each outcome. We can also display how many tries the user has left. I could replace this with some pictures of a guy hanging from a noose, but I'll leave it like this for now. Here I display the current word with the dots for characters that have not been guessed yet. I made it with a repeater so I can easily use images for these characters at some point. If the game is still in progress, I will display buttons for each character for the user to choose from. In order to reference the fixed path for the configuration used here, I need to add an import. And the characters that have already been chosen will just be displayed without a button. All that is left now is to handle the button clicks when a user chooses a character. This method just adds the chosen character to the list of characters in Sitecore. And with this code, I wire the method in. And now for the result. Let's go back to Sitecore. Now, that validates. Let's refresh this. And I think I know the answer to this one. Well, as you can see, one of the tries is now gone. Yay! I won! It's a bit more difficult if you don't know the answer. I think it's a chipmunk. Yes. I'll finish by actually losing, so you can see how that works. This is on purpose. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions or ideas about this module, just contact me. You'll find the necessary info on the wiki. Goodbye.